Let's go, baby! Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for this new Mk.gee record, 2-Star and the Dream Police. This is said to be the debut full-length album of American guitarist, singer, and songwriter Mk.gee, who has been releasing singles and smaller projects for quite a while now, really since 2016, very steadily, and over the course of that time he's been slowly refining the sound that you hear today. This raw, passionate blend of bedroom pop, indie, and R&B. And it's not too much unlike the sound and music of former collaborators such as Omar Apollo, as well as Dijon, who had a pretty breakout record back in 2021 with Absolutely. So yeah, I can't be surprised that he doesn't sound that far removed from their work, especially Dijon. Here, Mk.gee sports production that is similarly homespun and features this dreamy, subtly noisy presentation with a lot of quiet and kind of random sound placements that might fly by you entirely if you're not paying attention. And it all sounds slightly unreal in a way, washed out to where none of the instrumentation sounds all that material. Like a smoke screen, you can see it and kind of see through it, but you can't touch it. Like on the song RYLEE and I, for example, one of the most prominent sounds in the entire mix throughout the whole of the track is this grinding, blaring, repetitious tone that hits every few bars or so, which is far louder than the sudden fluttering sax bridge that hits at one point. Cause this is really one of those records that I think makes the listener kind of connect the dots a bit, cause a lot of the songs, progressions, and instrumentation come off as so impressionist, to the point where diving deeply into some of the compositional details doesn't necessarily provide more information, as the closer I listened into any one individual sound, the more it just kind of came across as thin, lacking in body and definition and detail, kind of like I was grasping at handfuls of sand slipping through my fingers. Take the track Candy, for example, which might be one of the boldest songs on the record, and I think it's the worst for it, cause the guitar solos and drum switch-ups are so sloppy they come across as kind of awkward, despite trying their best to pull off this 80s pop rock anthem kind of vibe. The presentation is just too minuscule for it to hit in a way that's grand or showy. Something along the lines of Elysis makes a lot more sense. It has some driving and fuzzy bass lines, direct drums too. It's a bit of lo-fi pop rock that I think the Dominic Fike fans could really get down with, but even the tracks like these that know their limitations have some shortcomings, and sound so spacey and uniform that the 12 tracks here really feel like vague moments that bleed into each other inconspicuously. And this is sometimes a problem within the songs themselves too. For example, we have a great vocal performance on the track Little Bit More, and I can tell from the lyrics and the chord changes that at its core it's a great song, but there's nothing instrumentally or production-wise really contrasting one section of the track from the next, and as a result the hooks kind of fall flat in their faces. Meanwhile, the song You Got It just kind of disappears at one point entirely, really right after it hits one of its highest peaks sonically, when it could have had more to come, but yeah, no, it just kind of leaves money right there on the table and avoids the payoff. So yeah, looking at the tracks and track list of this record from more of a bird's eye view doesn't necessarily lead to a better listening experience either. Still, there are some notable peaks and highlights on the record here and there. Tunes like The Closer, RYLEE and I, DNM, How Many Miles, Are You Looking Up? All these cuts feature great vocal performances and some strong keyboard and guitar work too. And yeah, generally the writing is just too good to deny in each instance. The songs kind of overcome any general vagueness sonically or structurally. And as I was saying, I do generally like Mk.gee's vocals a lot. His singing is earnest, it's skilled, it's youthful, it's impassioned. He's constantly delivering runs that remind me of Frank Ocean or Bon Iver. And I also like the aesthetic vibes of the sonic era that he's borrowing from in the 80s. It's like he's trying to deliver a dreamier version of the nuanced, melodramatic, adult-oriented prog pop that was dominant during that time, and, you know, just doing it on a shoestring budget. In a way, he does accurately capture the shiny and ethereal sound of the music from that time in a way that reminds me of similarly nostalgic displays of that aesthetic in the music of like the 1975, for example. But what Mk.gee here is going for is obviously much more abstract. And those abstractions define the record, make it special, but at times they also hold it back too. Because while I love a lot of the vocal performances, I love those guitars and keyboard passages, I think kind of leaves the record feeling like an entrancing dream. But yeah, there's a lot of instrumental bits and song structures that feel a bit too ill-defined, half-baked, unfinished. So I guess here's the question with this debut album. Is a there? And I would say for sure there most definitely is. And hopefully with a future LP or project, Mk.gee is willing to bring a bit more connective tissue to the table with all the various ideas he's pulling together here. I'm feeling a strong 6 to a light 7 on this one. Transition, have you given this record a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best, you're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe and please don't cry. Hit the bell as well. Over here next to my head is another video you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, Mk.gee, forever.